Hey, sports fans, it's Mo Carter. Every high school football team in the Tennessee Valley has a goal of hoisting up a blue map at this year's Super 7 in Birmingham. And in order to get there, you have to do work in the off-season. This summer, the FOX54 sports team chatted with a number of squads about their upcoming season. And you can check out some of your favorite teams right now on another edition of the First Down Friday Night Preview Series.
Wonderful event to be able to come and get ready to kick off the season. When you start hearing the band play and you get ready to come here to media days, that means it's close. So we're excited about that, and we've got some shoes to fill at Brooks High School, but we're looking forward to filling them. We've had great support, and we're excited about our community and what our kids are ready to bring forth in the community as well. And we know that this is not only a kickoff to the season, but also help catapult us as far as getting pads, all those things. So there's a build-up that happens, and we're excited about that. But to my left, Charlie Bob's our kicker. We're excited about him. He's a senior for us. Silas McCarthy, a senior, plays offensive line. Charlie Buttram, a linebacker, and Brooks Moore, defensive back. So we're looking forward to today, and look forward to answering any questions and maybe giving some insight to our program.
Coach Bowen, your offense decreased points last year, but the defense improved as well. How do you plan to improve on both of those this year?
Well, I mean, decreased, 2 points maybe? I think we averaged somewhere around 37 to 40 in the last 3 years, so we were pretty high as far as that concerned, as far as the average. But defensively, we did improve tremendously. I think we're maybe 18, 19 points a game, somewhere in there. So we improved a lot defensively, and we're going to continue to do that and challenge our guys on both sides of the ball, making sure that we're executing well on offense. And, you know, it's going to be a big hurdle for us. We got a lot of shoes to fill, like I said, with Garrett Burrow, who's our quarterback for the last 2 years, all-state kid. And so we're working really hard to make sure that we're consistent in that area, and defensively, that we're flying around the ball. You know, we want to be fresh and flying around the ball, and making sure that we're, we're utilizing our talents that we have defensively as well.
Coach, can you walk us through just the process of fall camp and trying to find that guy for Garrett? I know when you have a guy that's kind of been a leader for this program and on offense the last couple of seasons, it's kind of hard to kind of find somebody to kind of fill those shoes. But for you, walk us through that QB room, and more importantly, guys that have an opportunity to become a starter.
Well, we've got about 5 kids that we're looking at quarterback that's been getting reps for us, and right now, the first guy is Tanner Bowens. He's our first one. So he's kind of solidified as the first guy to go out right now. We've got 4 of the guys who are still competing for jobs, and some of them play other positions, which is good too. So they learn different things, and also they're able to grow. Carter Richardson, who's a sophomore, and we've got Tavion Casey, who's a freshman, and then we've got Isaac Richardson, who's a freshman, and then we've got another young man who's transferred in. We're working on him to make sure his eligibility is good. So got a lot of things right there that we're building and developing in that room, and 2 of them play, like I said, play other positions, so they kind of know the offense, and that's been good. And they, one of them, Carter's played quarterback as well. He was a backup as well last year. So just continue to develop them, and we've had some OTAs and 707 work this summer. It's been really good for us. We've been able to go to Huntsville and been able to do some things here at our place, so that's helped a bunch.
I've got one for the players. Charlie, maybe you could start, and all of y'all. What advice would y'all give to a teammate who may be playing or starting for the first time this year? What advice might you give?
Probably just go play, have fun, and leave it all out there. You know, mistakes are going to happen, but you got to roll with it, and like next play mentality, go throw a pick. You know, we're good. We'll go get you the ball back and go score. You know, just keep on playing. Don't worry about the last play.
Brooks?
Just like Charlie said, go wide open. Don't leave nothing in the tank. Don't worry about mistakes or anything like that. Just go out there and play your game.
I agree with both of what they said. I would tell them to think of it as you have really nothing to lose. Because if you're just not doing it, you were supposed to mess up in the first place. So why not go ball out?
Charlie?
Just going to go off what they said.
Just give it everything. End of the season, we'll be there before you know it, and you just want to finish it with no regrets.
I've got a question for everybody. How would you describe Brooks football to someone that had never seen you guys play before? Can we start with you, Coach, and then go to the players?
Well, I think we're a team that, and I wouldn't just say a team, but a program where we try to make sure that we're family first. We try to make sure that we live by a standard, which is being totally committed to excellence, and that we try to work hard at that. We try our best to serve the hearts of our players, not the talent. That we are, making sure that we are doing what we can and what's best for them day in and day out. So I think when you get in there and you feel that, you feel the culture that we have, I think that it's evident, with our kids and how they do things and what we do is very important. So I'll let them speak because they live it every day. So we'll start here with Bonds.
We love to break it down on family after practice or after workout. So I'd say just the whole team just kind of being together and being a family and having each other's back. That's a lot about what we do. So I would say it's definitely a place if you're looking to be a better person. Definitely the best place to be. And it's one of the best men I've ever seen in my life. So definitely, if you're looking to be a better person, here's the place.
Charlie?
It's a big, it's a family, and it's very structure oriented, and you don't waste time. Like when he sends out the schedule for the week, at 7:30 we got this, 7:50 we got this, 9:05 even, like it's down to the minute. And Brooks for a long time has been, we're going to go score a lot of points, and we're going to be lackluster on the defense end, but we're going to outscore you. And I think the program's changing. We're going to come hit you in the mouth. We're going to play ball, and we're going to be fast on the offensive end. We're going to be strong on the defensive end. We're coming a complete program that works really hard in the weight room, and we're just a close, tight-knit family.
Brooks?
As they spoke on like family and stuff, that stuff is special, and the brotherhood we have is like no other. It's like you feel you're at home, and I don't think many programs are like that. So it's very special.
Yes.
For the players, you have a kicker and you're in 4A ball, but having a kicker, how does that change your mindset on the field? Now, if you have a kicker, you get to the 25-yard line on offense and get a stop on third down, you can go up there and kick it. And instead of having to go for it on fourth down or on extra points, you can kick it and not have to work it over 2 every time you score.
Guaranteed 3 points. Get us. We ain't got to go be perfect. Get us close, and he's gonna knock it down. The machine over there, he's gonna knock it down.
We call him bucket bottoms for a reason. He's automatic, and I personally think he's the best player on our team.
Right now, yeah, he's a highly recruited player for us, and so a lot of people have come to see him, and he works hard. If you go up on a Sunday or Saturday, we're off. I'm driving through there, and I'm telling him to get off the field and go home, get some rest. So that's the type of kid he is, and it's a weapon definitely. We have to make sure you utilize that, and make sure you don't overkick as well. So.
Coach, another early season matchup over against West Morgan. What can you say about that matchup, as well as how can you get over the hump against that program?
Really good program. I tell you, Coach Phillips, he's done a great job. I mean, those kids have, they've got an interesting community, and the schools that are right around there and the communities that are right around there, kids can be going from one school to the other, and they've chosen to want to go there. I mean, because he's building a program, and so year in and year out, I mean, they've been really good, and we've got to make sure we do a heck of a job on our end to make sure that we're up there in the top tier 2 in our region. I mean, they've been really good, and with speed, with size, with strength, all that. And so we can't be them, but we want to make sure we're being the best version of us that we can be. And it'll be a great matchup. We're looking forward to it. It'll be good. I mean, they've got a bunch of guys coming back, and our kids are looking forward to the challenge, I believe.
Coach Bogos for First and Souls podcast. I got a question for the players and a question for you. I'll start with the players. Guys, what's something the fans don't see or know that makes this team special?
Really just the time we put in each and every day, you know, the workouts, the practice, and just all the hard work we put in every day, every play, every rep, in the weight room, all that.
You know, basically what he said, you know, the time spent, I mean, we spend a lot of time at that field house. I think last year we had a 13, 14-week season. We got 13 off days. And, you know, so we're together all the time. There's a lot of time put into football that people don't see, and everybody thinks we just show up, and it's just, we're always good every year because it's Brooks. But, you know, it's a lot of time spent. It's a lot of time spent.
I don't think people see that. I mean, I would personally say that we're the most hardworking team in the state. We work really hard to be disciplined, and I'd say we're the closest all around in the state as well. Nobody has a stronger bond than Brooks High School.
I'd say the hours that our coaches put in watching film and getting practices ready and looking at scripts and stuff. I mean, they're down there all the time. It feels like, you know, whether they're watching film or getting ready for a game.
Awesome. And Coach, what is one big thing you've learned about this team during the off season?
Well, I think, you know, like I said, we've had the OTAs this summer, which has helped us see a lot about us, you know, as far as the physical part of it. But, you know, for me, I'm always looking for the intangible things that you are struggling to measure, like how much is he growing as a young man, how much is this guy maturing, how much is he leading, what are moments where he stood up or stood out and did things to help this program be a little bit better. And to me, those are the things that I look for, because those are going to be moments on the field that's going to help us, you know, and there are going to be times where, you know, it may not be going so good. So guess what? We always say the term, so what, now what? All right, who's going to have that mentality to go past that? We got to adapt, adjust, and overcome from adversity. Who's that individual that's going to be able to do that time in and time out? So those are the things that we're looking for, and I'm seeing that more and more by our guys, you know, because life's going to happen. It's going to smack you in the face, and we tell them that all the time. We're teaching them life, and when that happens, how are you going to respond? What are you going to do? And we want to see if those things we're instilling them is carrying over, not just on the field, but also off the field. And we're seeing some of those things, and we want that to continue.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. One, you started off every year for us, so I know that takes a little bit, you know, nerves from the players. So I want to say thank you also. And we do have some slim chickens for y'all in the green room as well. We've got several vendors in the lobby that y'all haven't got to see yet, so please see them. And again, Coach and players, thank y'all for coming.
Yeah, I mean, just you know, we graduated a lot of guys last season, so this season will be a lot of new faces out there. Just keep doing what we do. You know, we've been doing the same thing for, you know, this is going on 15 years here, so we're just going to try to keep doing what we do, make sure we're working hard and being where we're supposed to be and stuff like that.
For the players, what's it like having a coach who's been there multiple years? Y'all been in school, and y'all haven't had that coaching carousel some schools have. Y'all have one coach, y'all like in kindergarten. How's that been to have that same guy there every year, seeing him throughout the years?
It's been amazing. Ever since I moved to Central, they've been making playoffs every year, so that's our goal, keep making playoffs.
Been great. We're going to keep doing what we're doing and keep winning because we got a good coach.
The support from the coaches have been the same since I've been there, and it's been pretty good.
Coach, does it help that for you being here for so long, more importantly, just some incredible success the last 2 seasons? Does it help that some of these youngsters that have kind of watched some of the older kids had to go through practices and fall camps the last couple of years? Now it's their turn. It's a little bit different relative to if they hadn't seen high success before, for you, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been around the program, so that they know what's expected of them. And you know, you start talking about this season coming up, you know, it's not going to start in a couple of weeks. It started, you know, last off season. And these guys sitting up here at this table, they've earned the right to be up here by the hard work they put in. And the leadership, you know, that's what everything's going to fall back on is the seniors and the leaders on the team. And these guys have done a great job in the off season. And we're all excited about the upcoming season and the leadership that's going to be there for us. Yeah, I think we've had good players over the years. We've graduated good players, and those guys last year they were good players. But before they came along, there was good players before them. So people's going to have to step up, and we've got talented young players. And I think in the backfield, as far as that goes, those guys did carry a lot of the load. I think that it's going to take multiple people to be able to produce like they did, and we've got the young men to do it. So it's going to be about making sure that everyone knows what's going on and those type of things. But we're excited about it. It should give multiple people opportunities to carry the ball for us.
For the players, what's been your favorite memory of your high school career so far?
Definitely last year, making it to round 2 with all the seniors.
Yeah, the celebration in the locker room after the first win in the first round. Celebration, for the most part, and then before the games, getting hopped up.
Mine last year was against Brooks. I got the game-winning pick, and it's my first year back to football, and it was just fun.
Hey, Coach, you've been around here a long time. What makes a Friday night special at home inside your home stadium?
Yeah, I just think the community support, and seeing these players, being there so long, you've seen them grow up throughout the school, and you finally get to be their turn to be out on the field. It's something you can see it in their eyes. But, as far as us and our community, it's the support and the fans and everyone that's involved. But really for these players, it's been around for so long.
Coach, I got a question on the lighter side. Let's say you decide to have a karaoke night with the Central. Which players grabbing the mic first?
Up on this stage,
It could be any of them.
yeah, I'm not for sure. I'm more worried about the genre of the music, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe Caden down there. I've heard him spit a few rhymes before, so I don't know.
Is that true, Caden?
Nah, Malik's got it. He a great singer. Malik's amazing.
For anyone, for a program that it took a while to break through and win a playoff game, what do you guys feel like is that next natural step for the progression of the program forward for beyond?
Yeah, I think as far as that goes, it's kind of the same thing. You can't talk about making the next step till you take the first step, which is getting in the playoffs. And I think sometimes that goes a little bit, it gets a little overlooked, if you do it several years in a row, it just kind of, well, we're just supposed to be in the playoffs. It takes a lot of work just to get in. So we're talking about taking the next step in the playoffs. We better take the first step and do the things we need to try to do to get in the playoffs. To me, that's the most important thing from year to year. When you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. But getting in, I don't think unless you've been there, you can't realize how difficult it is. Especially, our region's like it is. We're in a 9-team region. 8 teams is bad enough, but you throw another one in there. But I think the fact of getting in the playoffs gets overlooked a lot of times if a team is accustomed to getting in it. And to me, that's the most difficult thing. If you've never been in the office on a Sunday trying to figure out who's got to win and who's got to lose and what we got to do to try to get in, you don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, but it is difficult to get in, and every week that you play matters. And these guys, they understand that. We do a good job of talking to them about it and those type of things, but we don't need to talk about getting to the second round of the playoffs until we get in the playoffs.
You open with Carter County and Lauderdale County, two well-established law programs in the area. How does that prepare our region play for the other 19 region?
Yeah, talk about those two teams there. Yeah, extremely got a high level of respect for both those programs. As far as how's that going to help us? Right off the bat, we're seeing great teams. So hopefully that'll help us. Moving forward. That's just the way it is. So I'd like to talk to the guy that made the schedule for sure.
Coach, is there a certain position group that has surprised you this summer that you're looking forward to seeing in the fall?
I think just all of them. Seeing the guys that's been there all summer, the leadership, seeing I'm more excited about the leadership of these seniors. It's their turn to go be the leaders of the team, and you look at what they've done, been there this summer. I'm excited about that group of guys there, and you got Malik there. It's a junior stepping up, being the leader that we need him to be. I'm more excited about seeing the leadership and how that unfolds throughout the season. As far as a specific group, I would say, anybody, all of them really, because we are a little, as they would say, we don't have much experience. We got like 3 or 4 guys back on each side of the ball. So there's a lot of opportunity to play, and that's going to come back down, like I said, to the leadership and those seniors of the team. And I'm excited about those guys.
Kenny Morrison, head football coach, Florence High School, starting year 4.
Tavarius Reeder, senior offensive tackle.
LaShawn Shepard, senior tight end, H-back.
Walt Barrett, senior safety.
Carter Graves, receiver, athlete.
For the players
Senior.
starting off, how does that feel to have a coach now going into his 4th year, who's been with y'all since y'all's freshman year? How does that feel to know y'all know him, he knows y'all now at this point?
Coming into our freshman season, we went through 3 different coaches since middle school, so it's definitely good to have security in that coach. And like they say, it takes 3 to 5 years to build a program, and we are at that point right now.
For Coach, you guys won 3 of 4 to close the regular season, then got into the playoffs. How do you think that momentum can carry into this season the way you guys were able to finish?
It's always a good momentum builder getting into the playoffs. We've made the playoffs the last 3 years since arrival. The guys have been committed to finish strong, and we finished out the season these last 3 years on a winning streak and getting into the playoffs, and it definitely rolls into the next season for sure.
We got one for the players, guys. How would you like to be remembered when you take off those pads for the last time at the top?
I like to be remembered as a guy that always never took a rep off, as a guy who's a leader, stand up on and off the field. That includes in the classroom as well.
I'd like to be a guy that was remembered for doing the right thing, whether we had people watching me or not. I also want to be remembered as a guy that could lead a team, and we don't have to have coaches to lead us. So,
Leader and motivator as well. Just want to be that guy that that was a good guy, just later on in life.
I also want to be a leader and motivator. I want to be one of those guys where they look back and say, I wish we had a lot of guys like him, where, he's always doing the right thing. He's always making the right plays. You can always just accountable. You can always count on him.
For coaching the players, it seems like that Bob Jones game every year, it comes down to either playoff seeding or playoff spot. The opportunity to win the last 4 years. What is it about that Bob Jones game that makes that game so important every year?
Well, I'll start off with that. This year it's homecoming for us, so it's always going to be big. Homecoming region game, a lot on the line with it, and again, it tends to be a game that decides in or out with teams, but every one of them's important. We got to look at the first one right out the gate with Albertville in region play, and in our league, one little slip up and you're sitting at home. So every one of them's really important.
I'd rather just look at it as a regular game. We don't have to necessarily have all the antsiness to go play that game, whether it's a playoff seeding game or just a regular season game. I just look at it as we live to play another game. So.
Coach, this is now your 4th year at Florence. How do you continue developing your leadership and your culture as time keeps going forward?
Well, it's just about being a role model for these young men and being consistent with it. That's the biggest thing at Florence. Prior to us arriving, there had been a lot of turnover. And these guys have been committed to us since the first day we arrived there. As you can hear what their answers are here, some fine young men in our building, great young men on this stage, and it's throughout our locker room. Florence may have gotten a bad rap in the past, but we've got some great young men in our building that are working really hard to do the right things. And that comes with consistency and being here and them allowing me to continue to be here year 4, hopefully continue to be here on down the road.
Coach, you start with Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. What is it about that game
Well, in our league, 7A, and the 6A must Shoals, it's a tough go regardless of who you schedule. And it's game one. You know, the biggest thing that we preach to our guys too, it's really about us and our work ethic in the off season, our work ethic at practice. We preach a lot about it's us versus us. We got to look in the mirror and take care of us first. But Hillcrest is a really challenging program to start with. They are very talented across the board, got several Division I commits, but it's a good test for us right out the gate to see where we are. And it's a great test to prepare us for Must Shoals in that following week. And, you know, Must Shoals is always going to be a test for us as a rival across the river. And Coach Basin does an outstanding job with that team. And both those teams only prepare us for our region play.
Coach, we were over visiting Weed earlier this year on the coach community tour. You were talking a little bit about your time at Decatur and your time in Lincoln County. Some of these coaches that had an impact on your career. Tell the listeners a little bit about that impact that these coaches made on your life.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate in my career to be around some really good coaches. I started off at Colbert Heights here with Leroy Willis as the head football coach. What a great man. And we'll never get the credit for the person he is and the football program that he built up there. Take all the wins or losses away. What a great man to work under and see what it's like at a smaller school for my future. And then worked with Jerry Adcock at Decatur High School 22 years. Was very fortunate to be under him, like a second dad to me. And everything that I have brought from there to Fayetteville, Tennessee, when we went up there as my first head coaching job and coming back here, is what's instilled with me from those guys. And I've been very fortunate to be around some really good coaches. Worked with Bob Godsey and Alan Creasy, and I mean, just the coaching tree from Decatur High School is long and far-reaching. And again, I'm just fortunate to be a part of that in my career.
Question here for the players. Over the time, you know, like I said, fourth season going into it, so pretty much since y'all known Florence Falcons football from high school to junior high, Coach Morris has been the head coach there. What's it like to know when, you know, what you're going to get into every spring, and then when in the off season, and also when the season turns around and having the same coach?
One thing about this man, he always sees what our potential. He sees we may not be at our peak potential, but he does everything in his power to, you know, get us at that peak. And I know that he's gonna have a great, well, exercise or whatever workout. We're coming in with a chip on our shoulder this summer, the spring, until August, and then, hey, all I want to say is we coming in with a chip on our shoulder.
As I said earlier, I mean, it's great to have that security. As we have 2 new coordinators this year, he was the big one saying, change is a thing, but we got to sit there and work. And, you know, we got a new slogan this year, burn the boats. And, you know, we're just moving forward, keeping, as he said, chip on our shoulders and putting our head down and working.
For the most part, we know Coach Morrison is going to make it to where you're going to want to be at football. If you don't want to be there, you don't have to come. So we know that we're going to get pushed to our limits, but that's what we need to prepare us later on into the season. So, you know, we'll be ready by the time, you know, other teams might be ready to quit, but we won't quit because we've been pushed to our limits already. So.
He's always going to push us. That's one thing to know. That's on and off the field, even as to what we get into, like, even after football season. He's still there. He's still checking on your grades. He's making sure that you can play at the next level, and because that's what he wants for all of us, if that's what we want.
Coach Morrison, Class 7A decided to kind of change up the postseason structure last year, you know, allowing this region to go down and play, you know, the Opelika and the Central Alabamas. I would just love to get your thoughts on the change. I talked to Coach White at Bob Jones yesterday. He thought it was pretty good because of the opportunities that, you know, North Alabama had a chance to play. And now I think y'all doing the Mobile area this year.
I have not even looked at it. I know that 4-hour trip to Opelika was a long trip. It's tough on us being in this northwest corner wherever we go. 7A, you know, the top 32 in the state. I mean, it's a tough road wherever you travel. And you know, last year we did it to ourselves, being that seed that we were in and having to travel down there. You know, we gotta make it where we're staying at home and playing. And a 1 or 2 seed, we want to win the region championship year in and year out, and that'll keep us away from that long travel. But it was a tough go. That's with the way the state's trying to set it up, it's tough travel for everybody each week.
Great experience for our football team. I'm Coach Jeff Mason. To my left here is John Romine. He's a senior, defensive end and offensive lineman. Got Keegan Mason to my right here immediately. He's D lineman and O lineman. And we got Caden Naylor, plays tight end and linebacker. And then we got Cam Hill down on the far end. He's a receiver and cornerback. Yes, sir.
Coach, you're playing a tough region in 3A, a very competitive region, and make the playoffs every year. How does that keep y'all consistent year after year? You have a tough region and have to win 6, 7, 8 games to get to the playoffs every year.
Well, I would contribute that first to our players. I mean, they're just kind of tough, hard-nosed guys, and personally, I think 3A football in the whole state is one of the most physical classes in the state. You know, with just all the teams we play, and a lot of them come out of this region with Colbert County. You know, Rogers, Morris Hill. It's on and week after week, and I don't know, our guys just they seem to like to kind of play that way, and so we're you know, the support we have also continues to keep the program strong, but it all goes back to these guys sitting here beside me. Yes, sir, Bill.
Start with you and then any of the players. What advice would you give a teammate that may be playing and starting for the first time for the Tigers?
Well, I wouldn't tell them to be not nervous. I would tell them to keep their head up, and if you make mistakes, it's okay because you can fix it the next play, and make sure you keep playing hard. Go hard if you don't know what to do.
Yeah, going like what Jonas said, if you mess up, just keep on going, because when I was a freshman, I messed up a lot, and I was getting yelled at, but it didn't stop me from trying to fix what I messed up.
I would just tell them to have fun, give it their best they got.
I would tell them to have fun and play fast. That's all you got to do for real.
Guys, Lauderdale County, historically and traditionally, is known for being tough. That's what you got. I mean, it's been like that for years and years and years. So just to have fun with it, what's the attitude or what's the personality like inside the locker room when there's no coaches in there?
Quick, yeah.
It's hard to explain. It's like on the field, we know to take it serious. Game day, we ready, but we like to joke around a lot in the locker room and have a good time. But when it's time to go, we lock in and get straight.
We always have fun in the locker room, a lot of team bonding, do stuff out of the locker room too, like going to the river and stuff.
Yeah, we like to have fun in the locker room, but when it comes time to get serious, we all like to sit down and get ready for the games or joke around before the game sometimes, way before the game even starts. We like to have team bonding.
Yeah, we have fun in the locker room, but when it's game day, you know, once you put them pads on, it's time to go, and we're going to be there to play.
And I think to the toughness question, these guys have had so many people before them to model that kind of football. And even before I played, which was the early 80s, I had guys in the 70s that we watched. And that's just kind of been just sort of handed down from the people standing on the fence and sitting up in the stands expect us to play fast and hard and physical. And I think these players know it, and we respect that. And, you know, that's just sort of, we kind of say all the time, if we're not tough, we're in trouble. So we just kind of, they just sort of buy into that and enjoy doing that. But thank you for the question.
Y'all had the blowout win last year, late in the season. How did that help your guys get off their feet late in the game, start fourth quarter, but heading to playoffs in the bye week, not having to use them for extra games, extra plays and snaps during the season?
Well, I thought that we had a lot of injuries early, and we were lineup changes and shake-ups, which is, a lot of people go through that, you know, where it's not an excuse, but toward the end, we kind of, the lineup kind of stayed a little more stable and stuff, and I thought we got a little better, or I know we did, but I saw the improvement, and that led to some wins that, yeah, we did get to get some guys off and got some more experience for other guys, and we're very fortunate to get to do that. Went over and lost to Piedmont in the second round. I think they were undefeated, went to the semis maybe, but had a chance to win that game, and part of that was probably because of that. But it was a big deal for our players and stuff, and hopefully we understand. We learned a lot, the young guys did, of how hard you got to compete the whole game and how you got to go to win those games. So yeah, it all works together. If you can, the more people you can play, the fresher you'll be headed into the playoffs, without a doubt.
John, to tell people how long your typical Friday would be on game day. What time do you get up? When do you maybe get home after a Friday game day?
Well, I get up around 6:30, and we go in. We got workouts in the morning, and then you go throughout school, and you're just mentally preparing yourself that you know you're going for that night. And then you go through the game, get done with the game, you have a good night, you go to Stew Shack after the game, hang out with your friends, and then go home, get in bed around 11, 12.
Hey, Coach Mason.
Yes, sir. Hey.
Good to see you. I want to ask you, for those that may not know or new or familiar to our area, what makes Friday night so special at Lauderdale County High School?
Yes, sir. It's, Carl, you've been there several times, so you've seen it. It's just, it's the excitement the people, the town bring, the student. We talk about this every year, and I love to talk about them. We've got a great cheerleader, great cheerleader sponsor, band director, and band, and they support us. The people come out, and they call them the Scream Team. It's a group of students that pretty much occupy one section of the bleachers, and they set the tone up there, and they get it going, and it gets everybody else going. And then if we do our part, which we talk about that all the time, it's not their place to get us fired up, it's our place to get them fired up. So, but they do a great job, Carl, they do. And it builds through the week too, you know, going around the small town and everywhere you walk in, wanting to know about the football game, wanting to know about what we think this week, wanting to know this or that. So it just sort of builds through the week, you know. When you open that door after you've been out warming up and everything, come back in, final talk and stuff before we go out to play, you walk out there. I know it's not tight in the stadium, but it feels like it to us when we walk out there, and we appreciate the crowd, and you know, we look around and see you guys there. All of that just adds to it. So thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
Got 4 seniors with us today. We have Lane Matthews, D lineman, O lineman. We've got Andrew England, linebacker, H-back. We got Will White, outside linebacker, receiver, and Landon Carlock with the wide receiver, DB.
For the players, this is your third coach in 4 years now. How do y'all adjust? You know, you've had 3 coaches now for 4 years, but also you've been there since the spring. How has that helped y'all with them being there all summer?
I think he's put in a great game plan for us, and we've adjusted well. And I know a new coach seems like it scares everybody, but in reality, I mean, he got there early, and we
really adjusted to him well. He's got a great game plan. I think got all of us ready for the new season.
I'll start with you, and then all of y'all maybe chip in. Tell us a little bit, what's the community support like there in Lexington? Tell us a little bit about the support for you guys on Friday Night Lights.
I would say it's one of the best, honestly. Coming from like a small community, you know, it's real small. Everybody know everybody. You'll come out on a Friday night and you'll just see like the whole town there basically. So I'd just say it's great.
Like you said, I mean, everybody shows up and shows out and supports everybody, and everybody volunteers, and it's a really great community.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good too. Just everybody, you know, cheering for you and stuff, and everybody, you know, always saying good things about you, and that just makes what the community so great.
Man, I think it's great. Everybody shows up. It's like the entire town's there just to watch us play.
Coach, may I ask, your dad is a legendary head coach in the state. How does that feel knowing you have that generational heritage set up for you already?
Yeah, you know, I've always embraced that. I think some people can look at that as a good or a bad thing. To me, I've always looked at it as a great resource. I've always, and me and my dad have had this conversation. I always try to be, he's Steve and I'm Brett, and we've tried to operate that and kind of embrace, you know, who he is and where I come from, but also take some of those experiences and yes, I do lean on him for certain things, and we bounce some ideas off. So I think it's nothing but an advantage. But at the same point in time, and I've always tried to, you know, appreciate what he's done, but also kind of make my own name in this sport. And I hate saying it's always a we thing, and I always say it's a we thing in this sport. But you know, we've just tried to do things right, and I've always tried to look at him and see what, you know, some good things, and not just him, but you know, growing up, being around Coach Don Creasy, growing up out at Copper County, and then being around Coach Adcock at Decatur and some of those legendary guys, it all, you just kind of pull all your resources together and try to take the best of everything and try to be the best coach you can be for these guys.
Coach, you've been out of the head seat obviously for a few years. What are you most looking forward to in that first game day as a head coach again?
Well, there's just something about being the guy, and I think in any kind of sport, I don't care whether it's football or anything. You know, if you want to kind of be the guy, and I enjoy my time at Florence. I'm very grateful to Coach Morrison and Coach Graham and Dr. Shaw over there for giving me that opportunity. And it was nice to take a step back from being a head coach and kind of step back into that coordinator, assistant head coach, and kind of gave me a chance to kind of recharge my batteries and really cemented that I enjoyed being a head coach. And I think the biggest thing about being a head coach is you're only as good as the people around you. And we've been very fortunate enough at Lexington with our administration to get quality guys in there. We've got some old heads back, and I think we added it up the other day. We have close to 100 years of coaching experience in our room. And so you can't beat that. And as a head coach, I've told them, you know, y'all's job is just to not let me mess it up. And that's how good our room is, with a lot of experience and a lot of former head coaches and coordinators. So it's great to be back in this seat. It's a little bit different, but at the same point in time, I'm glad to be back in this seat.
For the players and coach, this is the 100th year of Lexington High School. How does that feel to know this is the 100th year of Lexington, but also the buzz around the school with all that going on this year?
It feels like we got a legacy to carry on for those that came before us. It's a good feeling that we're going to be the 100th year, but it's going to be amazing whenever we see and look back at all we've done.
You want to add something?
I'm good.
Okay.
Well, I've got one real quickly. Y'all really had some good quarterbacks at Lexington over the past 6 or 7 years. Who can we expect to see throwing you and Landon and some of them the ball this year?
I think the guy that Coach Mass thinks the best qualified for the job. I mean, I think he's gonna.
Good answer.
I think he's gonna put whoever he thinks in the right spot, and I trust him, and I know whoever he puts in there will get us the ball just fine.
So, Coach, that hasn't been decided yet.
Well, right now we've got 2 young men that are battling it out, and we've told them, hey, the best ones are going to play. We've got a junior in John Lewis Hicks, and then we got a freshman in and Zane Kilburn, that both of them bring different aspects to the game. One of them's a little older, one of them's younger, and we've told them, you know, hey, it started this summer, and we'll equal reps, and the best one's going to be the guy.
Coach, tell me about some of the things the team has been doing to prepare for the upcoming season.
Well, if you ask these guys, I think they were in a little bit of a shock when we first got there. The first 2 or 3 weeks of summer, they didn't see a football. You can make that for what it is. We came in and tried to establish a mentality and a work ethic, and we basically took the month of June and tried to test their manhood a little bit. We had several pukers that first week during workouts, which is good, and they handled it well, and these guys have really embraced it. One thing about our community and our school, and playing our community and our school over the years at different schools, is I know what this place is about. This place is a physical place. This place is a tough place with tough people, and we've tried to get back to that, and we've tried to establish that. The first several weeks we were there, I think I was referred to as sadistic at times, but there was always a purpose behind it, and I think these guys really saw the purpose and our goal, and we clearly defined our goal of what type of team we're going to be. And these guys, like I said, have embraced that, and it really rose to the challenge. And these guys on the stage right here have done a great job of leading our younger kids and basically telling them, hey, it's going to be okay. And so I couldn't be more pleased with our off season, and really it wasn't a true off season with me coming in May, but tried to kick it into high gear, and like I said, these guys have responded and really relished in it.
Just getting better every day. I love the work going into the season, the off season, every bit of it. I mean, whatever happens at the end of that last year, just take it and move forward to the next year. But it's just kind of the process of it. Seeing these guys grow and develop and watch them how they change as they get older is very rewarding as a coach.
What's similar to last year's team? What's maybe different? Where's the biggest areas of production you'll have to replace this year?
We lost our quarterback, both guards, our fullback, safety, two middle linebackers. So we lost a lot of key players in major positions for us. Great leadership also.
How does it feel? Y'all been here before with the pressure of being the state champion before and all that. How does it feel to be in that situation again with some newer guys now?
You asking me or them?
All of you.
It's not really a lot of pressure. You just kind of put your head down and work and just strive to get better every day.
Yeah, what Evan says, not really a lot of pressure. It's just we got to keep the standard up, keep working hard, work outside of practice. That's what really does it.
Kind of what they said. We just got to work even harder now because now we got a target on our backs.
Coach, your program with so many great players. Can you tell us why you picked these 4 young men to bring with you today?
They're all good leaders. They're great players. They're good teammates. I like to let guys get out and get experience. We had some other guys go over and speak at another event, so I like to get more experience for these guys. It kind of helps them as they go through life.
Coach, you have no fear in scheduling stuff, not reaching opponents like Madison Academy or Russell Boyd, Scottsboro. How does it prepare you for the playoffs when you're going to get Piedmont, the Fives, Houston Academy, the Winfield, and so on?
We know we got to play really good people. That 3A North, I don't think there's a tougher division than that. And we're also starting out with Dexter in a jamboree. They just won a 7-on-7 tournament with 36 teams from all over. Probably the best Dexter team they've had in over 20-something years. So we like to play good people. Our kids get excited about it. We love competition. It's not trying to worry about our record. A lot of people just want to try to schedule wins. We want to schedule competition, help our players get experience, get to play against the best.
It'd be easy for you, Coach, to rack up a bunch of wins against, teams early on in non-region, but why have you for you in this program, you never not embraced high competition like my young man just said a few minutes ago? Well, why do you want to always face the best, and more importantly, why is it always important for you all to practice at such a high caliber?
We just enjoy the competition. I mean, it's really not a lot of fun to go out there and win by 50 points, and it's not anything to really look forward to. We like a challenge. We like playing great teams, great competition.
What makes Marshall so special for your campus and more importantly the football team? But it's a really cool family knit school, and everyone cheers on for everyone throughout all sports. But for you, just what makes the school so special?
The kids and the families that are involved, they get to go to class every day, and they get a Bible lesson. They go to chapel and they sing. And so one of my hardest things to do is to say, all right, now when you put the helmet on, we got to go out and kind of flip a switch, and because they're hearing all day about loving each other, treating each other nice, being kind to each other. And so one of my problems is go, all right, now that's great, and that's the way we want to live. But when you put the helmet on, you got to kind of flip a switch and be different.
Coach, I can tell you the few minutes that we spent together a few weeks ago, you made a huge impression on me as far as leaving it better than you find it. Guys, I got a question for you. What kind of impact, what kind of impression has the coaching staff made on you as young men?
Holding us accountable for like the little things. We try to focus on those little things can cost you wins. So we focus on little things a lot.
They set a great example, just in the football terms, coaching us great, and in our spiritual lives as well.
I want to add accountability, like being on practice on time and just always being ready for anything that they're ready to put us through and stuff. It just helps prepare us for future life.
Coach Hudson had an incredible year last year, now committed to UAB. How important is he going to be in your offensive plans this year?
Well, he'll have a good role like he did last year, but our offense and our team is based on a system, and everybody's got to do a job. Every job is just as important. And I'll just tell you, one of the main plays last year, we scored in Geraldine in the third round of the playoffs. We go in and score a touchdown late, look down the field, and somebody is 30 yards down the field. And it was Evan right here is our center, and he was leading the way in. He had blocked his guy and was out in front of the thing. We didn't know who in the world it was. So it's our guys, and it means a lot to get involved in the play and not just do your job, but to do everything you can to help the play be successful. And a lot of guys don't want to do that, and so I think the buy-in from everybody at every position is really the key.
For the players, last year the state championship game was really an up and down roller coaster game across the board. How did that feel being in that spot now, looking back now? How does that feel knowing you had that experience last year and carried into this year?
Even though it was like up and downs, we had great leadership. Our seniors really kind of let it in and helped us keep our heads up and just realize that if you keep your head down, it's not going to get any better. You just have to kind of go through it and strive to get better.
One of the biggest things we work on is no matter like if you fall down or anything, it's how you get back up and just working on that adversity.
From a lot of other teams, I think most teams would like, they see that they got down like that, they probably put their head down and get up, but since like we had a bunch of senior leadership on the team, like once we got down, they were always motivating, telling them we still got 3 more quarters to go. So that's what really made it special.
I've got one for the players. Is there a player in the last year or so that was a role model that you guys maybe looked up to the way he handled things and so forth?
It's not really just one, it's all of them really. All the seniors kind of bit into not just the younger guys, but the whole team, and just kind of let it on.
Coach, I remember something you guys had to deal with last year was a lot of injuries. I mean, your tight end gets hurt for the season, other injuries. How did that open up spots for younger guys, and how is that going to maybe help you this year build the depth for this year?
A lot of guys stepped up. We had Kennon Pigg, he's probably the #1 tight end in the state of Alabama, tore his ACL. Jackson Penn, who's committed to Troy, that broke his foot. And so we had some really good players that were out. We had a lot of sickness go through the team. So we had a lot of people step up, and now going into this year, they've got that experience coming back. You can see the confidence in them, the belief in themselves, and only make our team better this year.
I got a funny question. Who on the team would survive the longest if you guys had in a zombie apocalypse? Who's going down first? Who's going to survive?
I'm surviving the longest, and KO dying first.
Well, Coach, I don't know if we can top that question, but I would say, appreciate you coming. You've been here with us every year.
Well, we've really focused on a lot of competition, like and that's every year we have exit meetings with all the players, and that was one thing they kind of all said they wanted more competition in the summer. So we've really worked hard and kind of try to clinic with all the right people on how can we create that. We're a 3A school, we got 45 players. How can we create that kind of experience, kind of like a 6A school would? And I feel like we've done a good job of doing that, where we've really competed all summer against each other. And that started in the spring. We had 10 days of the 2-hour rule or whatever in the spring, and that was very good to us. Then we've had, I guess, 19 total days in the summer that we've really gotten after each other, and had a lot of, probably done more OTAs and 7-on-7s than we've ever done. So that's been very important. We've also felt like we've been able to run the ball pretty successfully, and I felt like one of the things we needed to get better is, being able to throw it a little bit. And we've really worked hard on that this offseason. That goes back from me as a coach and our staff, and just in spending more time on it. And I feel like that, we've surrounded ourselves with a lot of good people. I've tried to, connect myself with a lot of good people to get better at that. And, and we're about to focus a lot more on situations and things like the red zone. The red zone, we weren't very successful last year. We'd get inside the 40 and then get in the red zone, we couldn't come away with points. And that's something this next year, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to make sure that we're successful, in that area. And so, all in all, I just feel like these kids have really bought in terms of, they want to compete, and they don't want it to be easy. And it hasn't been, and they're better for it right now. And I think we're in a good spot going into fall camp.
Coach, I did want to ask you, mentioned in the red zone, I know that I can see some of the frustration from last season on the sideline. Walk us through just some of the things you all just really trying to input there to be able to cash in there when you get inside the red zone.
Well, I think a lot of that comes back. Sometimes, look, you can call a play, and sometimes, whoever has the pen last, so to speak, as a coach is going to win. Sometimes sometimes they just win, because they had a good call and it just worked out. But I feel like we could be a lot more creative in how we go about some of those situational game planning. And that was kind of one of the number one things that, I as a coach and our offensive staff were working on this offseason was, how can we do that? And we've got connected with, guys like a guy like Noah Mazzoni, who is a, perennial SEC coordinator in the past. And, he's been really good to me and really helped us. And, and then just other coaches and stuff as well. And these kids just buying into the process of it. Like, hey, you got to approach a different situation. It's not always going to be P&10 from the 40, It's always going to be different, and learning those situations. And I feel like we've always done a good job of, preparing for a lot of, weird situations, whether it be, end of the game, we got to take a safety, that type of deal. But this is something we're going to take a little step further to really focus on that and focus on trying to create, what everyone we call it training, practice, trying to make it to where it's more lifelike, to where, we're trying to create 5-play drives and swap it around to where a lot of times that's how it's going to be. So instead of going out there and scripting 16 plays and just going through the script, I don't get any better that way. They don't get any better that way. So we're trying to create things more lifelike in how we do them.
To the players, real Cody and all of y'all real quick, tell us about the community support that y'all have out there in Green Hill. And I think, isn't there somebody that maybe even prepares pregame meals for you guys? What's up?
I think it's very nice having all that support from everybody. Every game we eat Curtis's before, so pretty nice.
we always eat curses before the game, and then the stands are always packed out with people. So the community really likes coming out and supporting us.
Always enjoy, like I'll be out and about in Green Hill, and somebody will ask me if I'm ready for Friday night, and I always just, yes sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
Yeah, it better be yes.
Yes. Yes ma'am.
Green Hill's like a big family. The whole community is just like a big family. It's great.
You just mentioned Friday nights. When the Friday night lights come on for you guys, what's going through your head as a player?
Go win.
Well, at Rogers, it's always been I guess you can say we're a hard-nosed football team, tough, rough. Everybody's going to leave with a scratch or a bruise when they come and play us. So, that's always our goal, go out there and play hard, win.
Y'all have a week 5 bye this year, like y'all had last year. Y'all started 4-1 last year and finished 3-2 after the bye. How does the bye week coming mid-season help y'all, especially with the Marshall, Colbert High, Florida, County stretch out of the bye?
I always try to schedule to where we have it right in the middle because, just like they said, we're a physical football team, at least we try to be. And when you play that way, you're going to get, bumps and bruises and stuff like that. And so anytime you can have a week to kind of, heal your injuries, your bumps and bruises, we try not to. And that's something that I've, kind of tried to research more on. Like to me, we play Mars Hill after the bye. Like to spend 2 weeks on them, to me, I don't think is the best thing to do because sometimes you got to spend a little time on yourself. And there's things that we need to do better. And if we can execute what we're supposed to do, then, whoever we play will be in a better position. And so, we try to do that, try to heal up, try to get real good mental, reps and rest, and then come ready to go the next week. And, to me, that's the perfect time of the year to have a bye is right there in the middle because you're always going to have injuries and stuff.
Coach, what makes coaching this group special?
Well, y'all said it. I've been here. This will be my 5th year. These guys were in the 8th grade. I remember when he threw a football and took out a light in the 8th grade in the junior high locker room, and they blamed it on somebody else. And, because Cody's always been one that doesn't really get in trouble, and so he kind of got away with it a little bit. But, we've been together a long time, and I think these guys have done a whole lot to really improve, not only as players but as men throughout, from 8th grade on. And I think that they're very tight-knit, and I think that, they have created, they have created kind of a culture here that everyone's kind of together. And sometimes it's not that way. Sometimes you have cliques and stuff. I was just telling somebody out there, sometimes you have cliques and in school and stuff like that because that's just how society is. And I don't really feel like we have that in our locker room right now. And it's a large part because of these guys and our juniors as well. Everyone just kind of gets along, and everyone's kind of got the same goals and stuff like that. And, I can preach and say this and that, which they'll tell you I do it a lot, but they've got to do it. And they have really led by example. And I'm very proud of, these 4 and the rest of them, just as far as who they've become as men. I think they're all really good players. Like, these 2 are getting recruited a little bit. He's got an offer from Michael Vick at Norfolk State. And, that doesn't happen by accident. People don't just call Green Hill asking for players a lot, but these guys have worked really hard to earn that opportunity. And so I'm really proud of them, and I can't wait to see what they do this fall.
Joe Michael, coming from Montana. We've been here about 7 months now. Recently hired and got a week under my belt, so still relatively new. And then we got Rob Hyde and Knox Benson. Rob's going to be a junior. Knox is about to be a freshman, so we're excited for what you're going to see from these players.
Zach, down our Shoals Sports Report. First question is, what brought you to Alabama?
Short answer is God. God gave me and my family a word, said Tennessee. Took us about 1.5 years, and here we are. We just kind of jumped, took the leap, and he followed through on the rest of it, and we ended up getting a house. I got 4 kids, so being able to provide a house and some land for them was really important, and you just can't do that in Montana right now. So that was the main push. Yeah.
What was it like to take over a team this late into the summer?
Stressful. getting my feet under me. I feel like I'm right on that line. I'm swimming, kind of sinking, but my head's not underwater yet. So mostly excited at the same time. These boys know how to put in the work and they want it. So that coming into a program that's got that is a blessing, and I can't be thankful enough to just be here and get to ride alongside that.
For the players, how's it been the last long week or two with the new coach coming in this late in the summer?
I think it's been a really good change for us. I think the team's excited, and I think we're gonna keep pushing hard.
Yeah, I believe that we're bought in and we're ready. We're ready to play football. We're thankful for God for letting us be able to play football, and we're excited for what coach is going to bring to the table for us.
How did you end up deciding to take the job? What made you take it?
That's a tough question. Because when I first started looking into Shoals Christian, I just wanted to be a teacher, and with my extensive football background, I figured I could be a help to the team. So it wasn't until the teaching position was really given to me that I even knew that the head coach stepped down, and it just seemed like the perfect fit to kind of transition right into that. So, you know, it wasn't what I had in mind right off the bat, but I definitely got the skill set for it and the knowledge as far as the game of football goes. And so me and Chuck, the head of the school, talked, and that's just that's where it landed. And when God puts something on your plate, like I said, we've already made the leaps and the jumps that God's been putting in front of us. So it's one of those things that he provides, and I was willing to accept.
For those that don't know, what is maybe your coaching background, your football background, and what's your coaching style? What are you hoping to bring to Shoals Christian?
As far as my background goes, I played football for 15 years of my life, took it as far as I could go. Played high school ball in Washington State for a really good team. It was a 1A school, but the divisions in Washington are different than here in Alabama. So, but we won a state championship my freshman year and made playoffs every other year. So coming from a good background, good offense, good defense, and then I went straight to a D3 school in Oregon, played there my freshman year, and from high school, Montana State had been talking to me. They'd recruited me a little bit, but had only given me a preferred walk-on position. And I was naive then. I didn't really know what any of that meant. I just wanted to play. So that's why I took the D3. But at that time, after my freshman year of college, I was ready to accept the challenge of moving up. So I talked to some of the coaches, and we transitioned to Montana State University. From there, I spent a good amount of time working my way through the special teams, playing all special teams and outside linebacker. We had a very good outside linebacker core, so I never got to be the standout, I guess, as far as that goes, but I got the opportunity to do some tryouts for both the Eagles and the Seahawks, and was very blessed with the opportunities I was given. And then as far as coaching goes, I've had opportunities to coach basketball, coach track and field. I've never gotten the opportunity to be a head coach of football. I've gotten to help out on football teams in the area of Montana. Done a lot of one-on-one stuff with individuals. That's mostly what I've done. But like I said, I've got some good background in football and good knowledge, good IQ, and in that aspect, I'm excited to surprise some folks with our schemes and what we're able to accomplish. And these boys pick up fast. Like they said, like Knox said, they're bought in. And so this is all about them. The work that they're putting in is going to show. And I think you guys will see a different team than what we've seen before.
Playing at Montana State, how does that help you move to the South now with the SEC culture down here, and how that culture is up there as well with football in such a good environment with the big sky and all that? How does that feel having a culture shift from both parts of the nation?
Well, for one, I'll say moving to the South from Montana has been like moving to a different country. Just being able to understand everybody in everyday conversation has taken me a minute, and I have to put on some different ears and I got to listen closely. And also I've noticed that sometimes I can't help but like emulate the accent. And so it's new and we love it. But being in the Bible Belt has been because I didn't realize that this was the Bible Belt. I should have known. And then a couple coworkers were like, you're not just in the Bible Belt, you're in the buckle of the Bible Belt right here. So that culture has been different. Having a church on every corner is just, that's new to us. So, but we're excited about it and we love it. But as far as football goes, I don't know what the difference is for what the culture in Montana is compared to Alabama. I haven't seen a football season here yet. I haven't seen what it's like to be in Alabama during football season. So that's something I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what kind of rallying we get behind the team and what kind of I've heard about it, that everybody, like, football is life out here, so we'll see. And I don't know if you guys know anything about Montana State, but they're a solid program for the past few years. Been to the national championship a couple times. They haven't won one yet, unfortunately, but they've been there and they've been putting together some solid teams. So football in Montana, most of the Montanans they don't have a professional team, so they live and breathe college football in Montana.
My name is Ty Cox. I'm the offensive coordinator at Waterloo. I'd like to thank Brad Palmer, our head coach, for trusting me to fill his shoes today. He's down at the Alabama High School Athletic Association All-Star Week, handling his duties he's also a softball coach. To my right, first we have Colin Morris. Colin's a senior. Hard-working guy, one of our heartbeats. He's the one that brings our intensity to our program. I laugh and tell other people. Next, you got Dane Morris. He's also a senior. Dane plays wide receiver and DB for us. He's coming off an injury in basketball. I'm just glad we have him on the football field because he's a great basketball player. And last year, he had quite a bit of success in football, and I think he's all fired up about this year's football season. Lastly, on the far right, we have Brock Gocher. Brock is our quarterback. He's started since his 10th grade year at Waterloo. He's also coming off an injury. He was a Warrior for us last year. We didn't know. We had a little bit of a misdiagnosis. Week 2 against Cherokee, he had a knee injury on a non-contact play and went to the doctor, thought he was okay, came back, led us in from week probably 5 on. It was week 5, back to the end of the year. Went and tried to tough it out in basketball, and it kept bothering him. Goes back, gets another image, and it turns out he had a torn ACL too. So he'd been battling for quite a long time. So that tells you what kind of player Brock is. He's tough. He shows up every day. And both of those guys on the right, they've worked real hard this summer and the spring to get back to ready to compete in the fall. Any questions? I guess that sums up the 3. We've got 3 great seniors. We have 6 total seniors. We're excited about this upcoming season because we've kind of gotten a few more kids out. Participation is better than it has been, and the guys are excited. They're coming to workouts every day and working hard. I worried some of them are kind of hard workouts, especially our Tuesday evening workouts, and we get back up there Wednesday morning at 8. And you worry your kid's going to get back up because it's easy to roll over and hit that snooze button. But these guys didn't. They've shown up, and we're excited about the upcoming season.
For Brock, how does that feel playing with 1 ACL last year? And how does that feel to you going into your senior year to this year?
Makes me think that
he's hungry. I know that. I mean, I've seen how he's worked. Last year, if I would have said his bench press max, I probably would have lied to you. But this year, he's worked in the weight room. You don't increase 100 pounds in bench press unless you're working your tail off. Brock leads by example. He's a great leader, but, that's what I've seen.
stay aggressive and be intense. You know, just don't back down.
I would say just try your best at all times. If you mess up, get back up, keep going.
Try not to get hurt.
You know, one of our big things was speed training, you know, learning the fundamentals and technique, you know, to get faster. So we've really attacked, our kids all play multiple sports, you know, so we have to share, coaches have to share athletes. So we don't get to do a very intense off-season program from January to May. So the summer is very big for us as far as getting bigger, faster, stronger. But we've also, you know, we were delayed as far as some of our throwing progression stuff that we wanted to do just because Brock just got cleared last week. So we've worked on, you know, worked on us, sharpening our saw, you know, as far as getting bigger, faster, stronger. And then, you know, when we can get out there and throw it around, that's the fun part. So, you know, the other things to me is learning how to work, you know, in stacked days consistently. And I feel like we've done that this summer. You know, it wasn't always easy, and that's okay. Football isn't easy. You know, it's a hard game for tough people, and that's one reason I love it.
They've had a couple of games last year towards the end where y'all were just short of winning, and had y'all won those games, it might be short of last edition. How does that feel? And when your last game last year, how does that build y'all into this season?
You know, I think we're going into it with a little more confidence this year. We knew we were in those games, had an opportunity to win. Football's a game of inches, and we had several turnovers, especially, and I think two of the games you're mentioning that really hurt us because we were right in it. But, you know, my favorite thing is that we competed for 4 quarters. I never saw any of our kids quit, and I love that. So going into this year, you know, we're hungry, we're excited. You know, we know that there's certain games that are tough for us just because of our numbers. You know, we hope to be in the 40s this year, 7 through 12. If we can, that'd be huge for us. And, you know, we can do some of the things we wanted to. But those 2 games, or I think of a couple of games last year that were tough. And we see how close we are with just a little more work, preparation. We can overcome that hump.
You have to see the seniors. How many total in the team is there this year
On varsity, we'll probably be right around 24, 25.
How does that feel having a quarter of your team then being seniors in that leadership position now?
It is. It is big. And, you know, we lost several seniors last year that were great players. That's kind of the thing. You know, as a coach, I try to look and set up, we want to look and build from, you know, the earlier grades. That way when they are seniors, they can lead and they can be coaches too. They can teach these younger guys how it's done. And, you know, our seniors are doing that and have done a good job this summer as far as, you know, being an example to some of our younger guys.
Going into year 3, really excited about this season and this group we're about to go out on the field with. To my left here is JT Burns, our center, and plays defensive line for us. Sophomore, brought him here today. We got Logan Reed, who is our offensive and defensive lineman, played tight end for us as well last year. We got senior Cole Miller, plays a little bit of everything for us. He's been a running back, done some wide out roles. He's also been a DB and is now moving to linebacker this year. And then we have senior Will Brooks, who he's probably the old man in the group now. He's probably started games for 4 years. Plays slot for us and plays defensive back. Just really excited to be here, really excited about this upcoming season and this what this group is going to get to show on the field.
Coach, what's one thing you've learned about this particular team during the offseason?
This group is extremely tight-knit. I think that comes with time. I think you have a little bit more of that every year. But this group especially, just the amount of time they spend together, not only in the weight room, on the field, at practice, but they spend a lot of time with each other outside of school. So it's a very tight-knit group that really enjoys being around each other, and it really makes it a lot of fun to coach. So they're a lot of fun at practice.
This is for Cole. How does it feel to have the test in basketball last year and winning basketball compared to football this year and transferring that over?
I think
our winning in basketball is like a mentality that we need to bring into our football season. You know, last year it wasn't the greatest season, but I think being able to be so successful in a sport gives us hope for other sports as well.
I've got one for Will and all the players. What advice, Will, would you give a teammate who might be playing and seeing action for the first time on Friday night for the Warriors?
I would just tell them to take a deep breath and to soak it all in. That don't freak yourself out over it. Just play the game.
What do you think, Joe?
I think he's right. But I mean, talking to like maybe, you know, JT's a sophomore. We have a few freshmen that are going to play. I think they are going to make mistakes, and I think they need to learn that they are going to make mistakes. But I think the biggest thing for them is growth more than anything.
Coach, you've been there 3 years now, Will. It's your third year now at Wilson. Talk about how you kind of rebuilt the program over the last 3 years.
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of unfair. I mean, the program. I mean, the program was where it was when we got there, but I'm really proud of the direction we're headed right now. We've done a lot, not only in facilities, but I think we've done a lot from just the day-to-day operations in the program. I think that our worst days are way behind us. I'm really excited about the direction we're headed, and you can just feel the difference every day at practice. It just takes consistency. I mean, that's the biggest thing is we live in a society now where everybody wants it to happen right now. You know, we talk about, I mean, it's the transfer portal society where you expect to get people in the transfer portal and it just makes it happen right now. If you're on a travel team and you don't like your travel team, you jump and you go to a new one. Well, this is not that. This is long-term, doing it the right way every day for years, and then when the breakthrough happens, everybody's going to go, well, what'd you do different? Well, nothing. We didn't do anything different. We just kept doing the same thing every day for multiple years the right way. And that's the biggest thing. And I think that's the biggest thing we take every day is how much the decisions we make every day are going to lead us to where we want to be.
For the players, last year Wilson had that great year across the board in all sports, but how hungry are y'all now? How hungry are y'all now to build on that football, coming off last year's softball, basketball season, and all that?
It gives us a good sense of hope, thinking that there's a change going on with not only in other sports programs, but I could see it opening the eyes of other sports and saying, hey, we don't have to be the laughing stock of every other team that plays us. We're just as good as anybody we go play. And I think it just gives a good sense of hope to all other sports.
Well, and I think too, like, we look back at last year, like, our team last year was better than our year one team. Our year two team played a really difficult schedule, and it came down to it that we didn't take care of the football the way you need to, and we didn't play good enough defense tackling fundamental football. We were much better in year two as we ran as a program than we were in year one. But for us to get where we want to be, we have to be a very sound football team. We have to run the football. We have to possess the ball. We have to hold on to it. And we have to tackle really well and play very solid defense. That's our recipe. And they all know that's the recipe.
JT, tell us, what's your normal Friday routine on game night? Like, what time do you get up and like what time do you finally get home after ball?
Well, I go to school throughout the day, and to be honest with you, everything's just the same as always, going through the day. And well, we go through pregame, we get our pregame meal. I usually take a pregame nap, and then we go through meetings, and then we play the game. I mean, and then I just go home with my mom. That's pretty much it.
Pretty long day though, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
It's usually a nap before the game.
What time do y'all usually get home after the ball game?
About like 10:30.
At a home game, probably around like 10:30.
Yeah, home game. A little later if you go get like McDonald's or something, but yeah, go get something to eat after.
You could create a hashtag for your team this season for you guys. What would the hashtag be, or slogan?
I would say laying the foundation. I would say I'm hoping this will be the start of a good upcoming program for Wilson football. That's my goal of this season, is to be, I mean, obviously we want to win games, but I want to create something that over time will only get better.
Coach Lane, I've heard some really good things just from people I know that follow football, that you've got a lot of young guys coming along that are really, really good athletes. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, we will have some youth on our team. You know, if you look at us last year, we got to experience a lot of those growing pains. We probably started 8 sophomores and freshmen. So, I mean, Logan was a sophomore last year and had to play both ways for us. JT had to play both ways for us. JT actually played, we didn't know till way after the fact. He goes to the doctor, thinks he's got a sprained ankle. JT played for about 2 games with a broken leg. Played both ways on a broken leg, and that's the kind of stuff that makes you sit up on the stage. But we experienced a lot of growing pains early on, but I think the fun part about last year was this group continuously got better. And that's a big thing with young teams, is you got to keep seeing that improvement. You know, we all want results. Everybody wants results. But the process to get the results you want, you can't think about the results. You have to think about just getting better on a daily basis. We have been very good in our middle school program. We are excited about our middle school program. We've got really good middle school numbers, which we know long-term is going to lead to the numbers we want on our varsity program. And I think that's a big key for us going forward.
Coach, players, Coach, you've been here for the last 3 years. Appreciate your support. Players will say thank y'all for coming. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
A brand new season of Fox 54's First Down Friday Night begins on Friday, August the 22nd on Fox 54 and the Fox 54 Plus app.